This is John News Prime with me, Anna Smith, and our headlines this hour. Nkranza bans gays and lesbians from the town after a suspected gay man was allegedly caught in the act. Also tonight, Catholic Church set up medical units to rehabilitate homosexuals. We'll hear from the president of the Bishops' Conference.
I have put out there a holistic treatment for people who are already involved in gay, to treat them because some of them are actually experiencing hormonal imbalances.
Deputy General Secretary of the NPP, Nano Bribwine, is worried about the silence of NPP MPs over the bill criminalizing activities of homosexuals.
It's not the NDC that is leading. I'm surprised that I don't see a good number of the NPP MPs champion this cause.
Also here on John News Prime, governance experts call for an investigation into alleged cases of bribery in the ongoing process to confirm the president's nominees for vacant MMDC positions across the country.
Be very happy if the special prosecutor begins to look at some of the video footages about people openly confessing that they took bribes. We need to review even in the case of A.
Meanwhile, Cape Coast Assembly members have yet to return monies they allegedly received after 24 hours. We'll bring you details in business. Gold increases fuel prices again at the pumps in less than 2 weeks, selling a litre of diesel and petrol at 6 cedis, 52 pesos. But what is driving these adjustments, and what is the expected impact on the market? My name is Anna Smith, and John News Prime is coming to you live from our studios here at Fandofa, Kukumlemle, Accra. We're live on DSTV, channel 41, GoTV 144. This is your home of independent, fearless, credible, and impactful journalism. Stay tuned in.
Hello, I'm Dori Nando. You can catch up with all the fun on the Cosmopolitan Mix and on all our shows via podcast. Just go to My Joy Online podcast and search for your favorite show and relive those moments all over again. Only on Joy 99.7 FM, radio for discerning listeners.
Super Hits Radio, Joy 99.7.
Hello again, many thanks for joining us. Now, students of the Nalerugu Nursing and Midwifery College in the Northeast region have agitated over the non-payment of their monthly allowance, which they claim have been arrears for more than a year. The students said the delay in payment of the arrears was affecting academic activities. They are therefore appealing to authorities to pay them the allowances or face their wrath as they will embark on a series of demonstrations. Correspondent Ilyasu Tanko reports.
The agitating students had planned to express their grievances through a press conference on the school campus, but while the briefing was underway, it was interrupted by a staff member who summoned the journalists into the principal's office. The students then started the agitation, accusing the school authorities of attempt to bribe the journalists to censor their grievances. They massed at the entrance of the administration block where the journalists were being interrogated for coming to cover the students' briefing. And after close to 30 minutes, the school authorities decided to allow the journalists to do their work. The agitating students speaking to Joy News said the failure to pay their allowances for several months now was affecting their academic activities. The students threatened to stage a massive protest if the arrears were not cleared soon.
We are the general nurses here. We came here early 29th January. We came here, we did everything, documentation, everything, the allowance and everything. Yes. Even those who are not nurses, they have received the allowance. How come we, the general nurses, we are not getting the allowance? And look, all of us here, it's not easy to be, it's not easy to come here. See my shoe. My shoe is spoiled. I need money to buy a new one, but the allowance is not here, so I cannot get one. I am managing. Meanwhile, I am supposed to get new one. Why? Please come to our aid. We need our allowances right.
A student midwife from Nalerugu NMTC. I have been here for 3 good years. And I've received allowance for only 1 year. The remaining 2 years, I've never and ever received allowance. And anytime that I go to the school management, they tell me that they are working on it. So now we are 3 in number in our class that who have not received this allowances for 2 good years. And my other colleagues, for 1 year now, they've not also received. We don't know whether the problem is from the government or from the school management. We are pleading with the government to help us. We are final year students. We are buying books. It's time for us to write our NMC. We have to register too. We don't have money. Our mothers know that we've been paid for the allowance, and it's not true. We want the world to know that our allowance is not being paid to us. So the government should help us to pay our allowance.
A student will die. We have to go. We want to go and visit the family. We cannot go. Transportation is there. There's a problem. If you don't pay school fees, they will not register. If you even pay half, they will not register. They will not feed you. They will not feed you. Yeah, they don't pay us allowance. And when we are trying to bring out our grievances, they say they will suspend it for what reason? We want Ghana to hear our grievances. We want the president to hear our grievances. The way we have been treated and cheated in this school.
Closely, we are talking about 1,741 students who haven't still received allowance till now. But the government has published it everywhere in the media that they've cleared allowance of nursing trainees. And everywhere, each other school you contact, they tell you that they have received allowance. But with this school, they don't tell us the reason why we have issue. Bambi, Yendi, and other colleges have received with the errors that have been made. Bolga NTC took this step on making a press, and they were paid fully with no error.
Management of the college declined to comment. Ilyas Sotanko reporting.
Now, President Akufo-Addo has charged the Inspector General of Police and the service to focus solely on its mandate and avoid the temptation of being seen as an appendage of the ruling government. For him, the credibility and independence of the service is crucial, especially at a time public confidence in them continues to wane. Swearing in the IGP, Dr. George Akuffo-Dampare, the President said whilst government works to improve the quality of the service and welfare of personnel, the police must be seen to be honest, fair and just in the maintenance of law and order.
It is often said that the public is the police and the police is the public. The citizenry can only have confidence in the police service when its members are seen to be honest and enforce the law without fear or favor. Your task as IGP during your term of office is to establish a service that maintains the trust of the citizenry. It is in everybody's interest that the police service conducts itself as the principal creditable instrument of accomplishing the executive's duty of maintaining law and order in the state. Governments in our body politic have term limits, and in a multi-party democracy, parties win and lose power. It is good for the health of the nation that this should be so. And this is why the police service under your leadership should not tie its well-being or otherwise to the fortunes of the ruling party of the day. As President, and together with you as Inspector General of Police, we need to cooperate to ensure that the police service is left to focus on its core mandate and not be an appendage of the ruling party. I envisage the development of a police service that goes about its function of protecting ordinary citizens, confident that there will be no interference from the powers that be. Newly sworn IGP, I believe strongly that in you, we can help promote the development of a nation governed by the rule of law and respect for human rights, with the police being at the front line of this end.
Dr. George Akuffo-Dampare, 51, becomes the 23rd Inspector General of Police and the youngest. Credited for many reforms in the service, he is seen as a symbol of hope for its service, suffering images and confidence issues in the country. But he is hoping to turn that around. He told the President he is determined to make the service the most respected institution before he leaves office.
Mr. President, my family and I I'm most grateful to you for the confidence that you have in me to allow me to take such a position of service to our nation. I also would like to thank Mr. Vice President for his leadership of the Police Council and his personal support and encouragement to me over the years. And I'm also very grateful to my colleagues at the service commanders level, including my big brother, the Chief of Defense Staff, for all the support I've received since my appointment as the Acting Inspector General of Police, and coming to a point that we've seen that the only weapon to defeating and fighting crime is when we work together. And I hope we'll continue to do that in the interest of this country. Mr. President, you've actually set the pace for us in terms of what we're supposed to do. And I want to give you the assurance that working in concert with my colleagues within the police service and outside it, and also getting the support and the backing of the population of the country, we will be able to leave the police service better than we came to find it. So that at the end of the day, if we leave the service and we are passing by and we see police people doing an excellent job, we will be proud and tell ourselves without anybody hearing that yes, we also contributed, and as a result of that, we are seeing a different police service. And our vision has been to become a world-class police institution. And Mr. President, we are poised, we are focused in attaining that. We know it is not going to be easy. By my colleagues and I, we have made our mind that even if we are unable to take it to that destination, we, at this time, will position the organization towards that destination such that there will be no turning back. And I know it is doable.
So who is the man, Dr. George Ekufu Dampare? We've been digging up some information for you on our new IGP. So he's the youngest acting IGP to be appointed in the Fourth Republic, the 8th youngest since Ghana gained independence. He joined the Ghana Police Service as a constable in the year 1990, rose through the ranks to become Commissioner of Police 24 years later, a rank he held until his appointment. Director General for Administration and Director General for Welfare twice, these are positions he held. He was also Director General for MTTD, Director General for Research and Planning, Director General for Operations. He also held the position for ICT, Finance for National Patrol Department. That's the Police Visibility Department, which he is credited for. These are departments of the Ghana Police Service he served as Director General. He was also Director General in charge of welfare, and he introduced social welfare schemes and strategic medical interventions for police officers. In the year 2013, he led a team of officers to restructure the Armored Cars Squadron unit into the Formed Police Unit within a record time of 10 weeks. Previously, he worked as a research fellow and lecturer at the King's College London, University of London, lectured at UCC, Gimpa, Regent University College, and the Data Link University College. Now, he's also one of the pioneer lecturers at the Business School of the KNUST. He was adjudged the overall best recruit at the National Police Training School when he passed out, and overall best cadet for the 32nd Cadet Officers Course in the year 1996. He served and continues to serve on several boards, including the Economic and Organized Crime Office, EOCO, Governing Board, Data Link University College Council, Police Central Disciplinary Board, and the Pumpkins Foundation Board. That's a philanthropic organization for underprivileged children, including those with autism. He's married to Anita and has 6 children. Now to some other stories. Now, and the attention of the Special Prosecutor and other anti-corruption agencies is being drawn to vote-buying allegations which have characterized the ongoing confirmation of metropolitan, municipal and district chief executives across the country. Some assembly members tasked with the mandate to either reject or approve President Akufo-Addo's nominees have been agitating over how the confirmation process has allegedly been compromised. Apart from the Asin South District Assembly members invoking curses on the newly confirmed DCE, their counterparts in Cape Coast Metropolis allegedly returned monies they had received from the nominee after they rejected the president's nominee.
This was given to us as a gift. We did not ask for any money. Neither do we hide in any vacuum for any explanation that this money should be done or specific direction. He gave us as a gift, and gift is a gift. But we, the concerned assembly members, we are here to give it back to him. Then people of Cape Coast should stop accusing fingers, and we are here to protect our integrity, as I said earlier. The timing is good because we want our fellow assembly members to follow suit that monies given before voting is not a good ethical behavior. We are setting a precedent that we, the concerned assembly members in Cape Coast, we are rejecting these gifts, not in the stand of buying our conscience, but we vote willingly that we represent Ogwa, and Ogwa has spoken, and that is it.
Now, in Accra, assembly members of the AMA were promised, quotes, winning bonuses after they unanimously elected Elizabeth Saki to become the first female mayor of Accra. Here's the Director of Operations at the Presidency, Lord Comey.
Especially to the Honorable Assembly members. Nye wogbasaneku alojo na guy. Wogbeku na yejeme. Nye winning bonus e ba chano no. Ni efiake ni intaheni intane kanye ba kwe nke regional minister ke foreign minister wo momo ni biwa. Noko efe wo fo noko ni heche noko ni jilawa. I am happy and proud that the youngest ever mayor is prepared to continue to provide that support to support you. And our wonderful members of parliament have shown that indeed they mean what they say. And they are always ready to support us. As for our regional minister, no go kurukurani. Nyechwa ndiwa nyale nyale. Yeshua ke wose kuwe ebagbe sani ledenche. Woke ba to be kukuru. No shida ni ho jinye no mindomo president na jia. Nye sani ma fa keje abri. Ni mashashi because ejegbe fami agenkenya wakpe ni efeko ifulu ma na shede akenye wo ehie nyam nye wo Ghana fe ehie nyam boni wo heshi kano ni wo chone e cha no kejegmene koni kpan fe kpan ni wo bla e ba hwe wo here.
Well, nearly 24 hours after the concerned assembly members in the Cape Coast Metropolitan Assembly said they were returning the money they had allegedly received from government, from the government nominee, the nominee is yet to receive the money. My colleague Richard Kojunyako has been following this story. He joins us. Richard, have the assembly members been providing any reason why the money has delayed in returning to the nominee?
Well, so Ernest, I've been chasing them the entire day to follow up on what they told the entire public, whether they were returning the money, and each was given 3,500 Ghana cedis. They were given 3,000 during the first voting and then 500 during the second voting. But yesterday, because they failed to disclose the amount of money in that brown envelope, we were a bit skeptical. So we decided to follow up. So I went to the nominee's office to check whether indeed the monies have been returned. And they said that, well, they are still waiting. If they said they have told the entire public that they are returning the money, they are waiting. But as of 5 p.m., when I left there, they had not still returned the money. I called a few of them, And then they said that they will call me later and then discuss the matter with me. And so we can say categorically that after 24 hours, when they promised that they were sending the money to the nominee is yet to receive the amount of money.
And Richard, because there's been a delay, some have begun to read meanings into this. We know that the nominee has one more chance to be approved. Are you picking up indications that they may approve him the very final time if he's presented?
Well, so Monday is uncertain. There is a bit of uncertainty because, but there is also a progression. The first vote they cast, he got 34 over 65. The second one, he went a notch higher. He got 40. And so he was just left with 4 more votes. So if he secured 44, yes, he would have met the confirmation criteria. But because of these issues about the money, the being bribe or gift or anything, and then the press conference they had come, people are saying that, well, you took the monies. The monies have been with you for such a long period. So what is the motivation in returning the money? Yesterday, the envelope was very light, according to the people that held it. So they were not sure that if there were almost like 30 assembly members that belong to that particular caucus, at least we should be expecting close to 100,000 Ghana cedis. And so Monday, they have also indicated that they are not going to approve him today and they are not going to approve him tomorrow. So we wait for Monday whether there will be some change of mind.
Richard, thank you very much for bringing us update on this. And of course, we are following to see if the monies will be returned. But some governance experts are calling for investigations into the alleged bribery cases that's characterized the process. Let's speak to Dean of Studies and Research at the Institute of Local Governance Studies, Frederick Odro. Thank you very much, sir, for your time here on Joy News Prime. You're calling on the special prosecutor to get involved in this particular case. Why is that?
No, not just in this particular case, but in all instances, particularly those areas that we've had people openly admitting to taking these bribes. I won't say taking these monies. It's plain bribery. And if we start calling it by what it is, it makes the issue grave enough for us to pursue the matter. If somebody out of their own volition comes out to tell us that, yes, bribes were offered or monies were given to us, as they would want to put it. And why shouldn't we pursue these issues? These are clear criminal matters. The giver of the bribe and the taker of the bribe are both guilty. So let us have some investigation into this, because this problem is endemic. I indicated earlier in a separate interview that this started, and I mean, about 20 years ago when it started. And that time, nobody was willing to talk about it openly. We have interviewed in several people who admit to you privately that, indeed, yes, we are induced to vote for candidates. But then if you want them to go on record, they will refuse absolutely. But this time around, fortunately, we've had several people. In Tamale, there was an instance like that. Cape Coast is coming up. We are hearing about, the winning bonus, whatever that means. That's why I think there must be a thorough investigation. And I will be happier if the Office of Special Prosecutor or even the EOCO or the police comes in to begin thorough investigation into this matter. Because it's a canker in the local governance system.
In the case of Cape Coast, for instance, the assembly members say he gave us a gift. We are returning this gift. You notice that they have rejected him twice. Where is the illegality? How do you hold them?
There are clear principles on gifts and bribe, and it is not for them to try to determine what is a gift and what is a bribe. This is a pure case of bribery. It is for a particular consideration. You give gifts for expecting no consideration. But here, take this money and vote for me. It's a clear case. It was given and the money was taken. Now you say, you come out to say that we took the money, now we are returning. If it's a gift and you accepted the gift, why are you returning it? So nobody can tell me this is not a case of bribery. It is bribe, and let us call it as that. If we begin calling it gifts, it makes it sound nice. But it is not good, it's terrible. So we must speak strongly against this.
And Mr. Ojo, we have said, and people like you have suggested, that the election of MMDCEs will be the solution to some of these things that are being recorded across the length and breadth of this country. But indeed, the issue of vote buying seems to have crept in or deeper into our electoral processes from the national level all the way to the local level. How do we deal with this permanently? What's the permanent solution to this problem?
You see, voting for MMDCs is one issue, which I believe is separate from this matter. But of course, there's some level of argument out there that this could help in overcoming that challenge. But then the overall problem of vote buying is endemic in our politics, within political parties, within GFA elections, even some claim within church elections. So it is becoming a major problem that we must deal with. I mean, if you take political parties, people go into political parties thinking that if my party is in power, I stand a chance of, taking a lion's share of the national booty. But that shouldn't be the case. If you support a political party, we must educate the public to understand that supporters of political parties contribute to the party because they believe in the ideologies and the principles of that grouping, but not to enrich yourself at the expense of the whole society. If we begin to have this kind of national discussion where people will not see party politics as avenue to enrich themselves, we can make headway. And people will understand that if you go out to vote, don't expect direct benefit. Okay. But there should be a societal benefit to all of us, but not for just a group of people. Otherwise, party politics will lose the essence it stands for in democracy.
Thank you very much. That's Frederick Ojo, a dean at the Local Governance Institute, speaking to us there on the development of MMDCEs and alleged briberies that has characterized the process. Away from that, some youth in the Asin South District are calling on state authorities, together with eminent chiefs of the Asin South area, to, as a matter of urgency, deal with the assembly members who invoked curses with sheep's eggs and schnapps at the assembly premises after the confirmation of the DCE. The youth say such acts are barbaric and demonic and should not be countenanced. Addressing a news conference on Friday, the spokesperson of the youth group, Richmond in Kansa, stated that the shameful act must not be accepted in any day and age where various civil ways are available in seeking redress.
We, the youth in the Asin South constituency, have cited an appalling video circulating on social media where some assembly members who are supposed to know better as stakeholders for development were seen engaging in acts that contravenes the cultural values of our people. We therefore calling on the state authorities together with the eminent chiefs to, as a matter of urgency, deal with such assembly members who went to rain cases with sheep at the assembly premises after the confirmation of the DCE. Such acts are barbaric and demonic, which is casting a dent on the image of Asin South constituency. These shameful acts cannot be accepted in our constituency in this day and age where various civil ways are available in seeking redress in such circumstances. We are by this release expressing our displeasure with this abominable act from these assembly members and to urge all stakeholders, including the security agencies, as a matter of urgency, investigate and prosecute where appropriate to serve as a deterrent for others in future. We call on the eminent chiefs to summon the assembly members and get them to reverse all those cases and appropriate sanctions applied. As we envisage for developmental projects to kickstart within the district with the full complement of the assembly now in place, every single individual whose delight in dragging such cause for selfish parochial interest must be shown the exit when the need arises. We therefore entreat all well-meaning citizens within the Ascension Enclave to remain resolute in our collective quest to seek development and not to fall for such self-seeking individuals who take delight in cacophony actions that seek to derail the progress of our beloved district.
You're watching Joy News Prime with me, Ernest Mino. Still to come, Nkranza bans gays and lesbians from the town after a suspected gay man was allegedly caught in the act. We'll bring you more on this as the Catholic Church sets up a medical unit to rehabilitate homosexuals. We'll hear from the president of the Bishops' Conference.
We have put out there a holistic treatment for people who are already involved in gay, to treat them because some of them are actually experiencing hormonal imbalances.
Hello, I'm Dori Nando. You can catch up with all the fun on the Cosmopolitan Mix and on all our shows via podcast. Just go to My Joy Online podcast and search for your favorite show and relive those moments all over again. Only on Joy 99.7 FM, radio for discerning listeners.
Super Hits Radio, Joy 99.7.
Business news beginning with fuel prices. Oil marketing firm GOIL has yet again increased prices of petroleum products at the pumps today. A litre of diesel and petrol now being sold at 6 cedis 52 pesos. But what is driving this adjustment, and could it force other oil firms to also adjust prices upwards? George Afe has the latest.
This should mean that in less than 2 weeks, prices have gone up by more than 2 pesos per litre. Sources close to GOIL says their increase was as a result of not being able to bear the rising cost of foreign exchange losses incurred as a result of the recent depreciation of the Ghana cedi. We are also learning that GOIL is losing out to competition, looking at the fact that Shell and Total recently upped their prices to 6 cedis 52 pesos per litre. The firm also claims that they are losing out comparing prices being adopted by other market leaders. But the biggest question now is whether this could force other players to adjust their prices at the pumps in the coming days. Well, time will tell.
In other news, businesses have been urged to consistently review management models to prioritize consumer demand and join the move to a digitally oriented workplace. Speaking at the launch of Customer Experience Professionals Ghana, Head of Marketing at the University of Ghana Business School, Dr. Kobe Mensah indicated that this would foster a sustainable business environment as customer experiences will be better. There is more in this report. Customer experience refers to how customers feel or perceive the whole series of encounters when they buy goods or services or interact with the company. They are more likely to return if the impression or perception of the seller, brand, or service is a good one. Head of Marketing at the University of Ghana Business School, Dr. Kobe Mensah, says to build good customer relations, businesses need to constantly assess their services.
Today, the world economy has taken a departure from the 80s and the 90s manufacturing plants to a digitally dominant, service-oriented one where consumers are paying increasing attention to experience in goods, services, and ideas markets. This means the application of traditional concepts which were developed around the manufacturing regime to guide the continuous improvement of modern enterprises is almost unsustainable. Hence, the emergence and the call for new frameworks consistent with modern consumer demands in service-oriented, digitally dominant economies. Ladies and gentlemen, it is therefore necessary for stakeholders in business to continuously review and engage new management models that could foster sustainable business environment. This is the reason behind today's launch of a Customer Experience Professionals in Ghana.
President of Customer Experience Professionals Ghana, Esther Ofosuhene, says a happy customer means a thriving business which translates into a booming economy.
When customers are happy and loyal, they will invest in your organization. The same goes for citizens. If your citizens are happy, they'll stay in there economy will boom because business will come in, they will love each other, they will love themselves, they will do business in-house, the exchange, the dollar or the foreign currency would stay in-house, and so the economy will boom because business would stay in because they don't want to go to outside the country to do business. Also, people will not move out to go and work for organizations outside of the country because they know that in Ghana, the organizations are driving good employee experience. And so people will be happy to stay in the country and work in the country.
Customer Experience Professionals Ghana is a professional association and governing body created to represent a diverse member base of over 200 qualified customer experience professionals, organizational leaders, service providers in the customer experience industry and academia, with a vision to transform industry through customer experience. Nice way to mark Customer Service Week with the launch of the Customer Experience Professionals Ghana. That's it for business. There'll be more in the next hour. Up next, though, is sports.
Thanks for staying with us. Time to bring you sport. I'm Hans Mensah, and the Black Stars have completed their final training session at the Cape Coast Stadium ahead of tomorrow's World Cup qualifier against Zimbabwe. A press conference preceded Ghana's final training session. My colleague Gary L. Smith is in Cape Coast and reports.
Milovan Rahevat has been able to have a feel of his team, and as the club, it's time to recap what he said at the press conference. The coach was very cautiously optimistic about the chances of the Black Stars tomorrow against Zimbabwe, and tried to rally the troops and get them, feeling patriotic about things. But he also spoke about a couple of issues about Jordan Ayew's lack of confidence, which a journalist asked what he was going to do about. He mentioned that he was also definitely going to do his best to make sure that the players' confidence also increased, and he didn't give any inkling as to whether he was going to start Jordan. But on that tangent, he mentioned that the 8-0 win they had against Soccer Intellectuals was something that he would always do, tune-ups to find the level of the team. And he also mentioned that it was not going to affect the way his team was going to set up. He also mentioned that he has not really seen what he would call as philosophy that he would have for the Black Stars. It will take a while to develop as well. But all in all, he gave this message to Ghanaians.
Ćemo odigrati dobro, da ćemo igrati za Ganu. Jednostavno, srećan sam što sam ovdje.
We had 4 days and 5 training sessions, including the training session today. So we are preparing and we are thinking positively about the next match. So we will do our best to make everybody happy and to try to deliver good performance and positive results. Before the match, I always have so many things in my mind. So before the match, I will definitely make a decision about the starting 11. But we all play. We are all the team. So every player is aware of that. Contribution to the team is important, so we are a group, so whoever starts will know that they have to deliver and we function as a team. So before the match, I will definitely make my final decisions.
That was Milovan Rahevat today. Andre Ayew, the captain of the side, also was quite cool. He was asked by my colleague George Addo Jr. about the coming in of exciting young talent. George reminded him that about 11 years ago, he was in their shoes and now he's a senior player. And he said that, well, just like he had experienced players to guide him at the time, he is also going to do his best to bring the players up to a certain level for the national team. He also had this message for Ghanaians in terms of getting ready and being sure that they will try and get the points against Zimbabwe here tomorrow.
We have been training for a while now, a few days. This game, we know that is an important game, so we're just calmly getting ready, and the squad is ready, the players are ready to give everything to get the 3 points on Saturday. I believe that these young boys here, if they do what they have to do and they do the job right, they'll have the opportunity to show what they can do to the whole wide world. So I'm just encouraging them to continue, to keep working hard, and to help us win matches, because we are all here at the end is to win. young, old, small. That's not the issue. The issue is that we win. But as you said, we know that coach has that thing to spot.
And that'll be all for this installment. We'll bring you more sports later in the bulletin.
What's up, guys? My name is Sammy Forson, host of the Weekend City Show and Ignition right here on Joy 99.7 FM. Well, anytime you happen to be busy and you miss out on your favorite shows right here on Joy FM, here's what you can do. Log on to myjoyonline.com/podcast. Just go on there and you'll find all your shows on demand 24/7. There you can catch up. Remember, Joy FM remains your radio for discerning listeners.
And KMJ is here. He has all the latest in the world of showbiz. It's Friday.
Yeah, I love Fridays. I was born on Friday, so I love Fridays.
Oh, yeah, Kofi.
Yeah.
I see.
Kofi Babone.
Let's start from Kwame. I know you have stories from Kwame.
Yes, we have a story on Kwame Eugene. You know, Kwame Eugene has been working on his new EP. Yesterday, there was an EP listening. He calls it Afro High Life. Okay. And he actually thinks that it's a genre that he wants to create permanently. And so he's looking forward to his colleagues joining in the action. But he believes that if nobody joins in, whether they join or not, he is Kwame Eugene. Ghanaians love him and they will still listen to him.
He can make it happen.
Yeah, so it's a 5-track EP that is just about dropping. But there's a hit banker that has been dropped on it called Banker.
Okay.
So let's check it out.
About it, that it will fly. Do you think that the others will also join you? They will come together for you to push this?
I'll be very happy if, all my acquaintances are going to go like, yo, that's a good movement, let's join. Because we're pushing Afrobeat, but then again, it comes with our high life. So we leave our high life behind. So it won't be bad if they all join. But then again, I know it's going to work on my side because, I'm Kwame Eugene.
Yeah.
Ghanaians love me that much. If I put music out there, they will jump on it. And if I'm coming out with a genre like that for them to support, so long as they accept my music, it comes to the genre. So they're going to, automatically accept the genre.
All right, let's see how it goes.
Afro High Life. So yeah, it's a beautiful EP. We listened to it yesterday, and all the songs, you just love it. He did all the songs alone, and their rendition of old songs, and it's beautiful. It's gonna be out. Now another story, we're talking about MFR Powell, who's got a new show coming out
on
season 5.
Joy Prime.
Yeah, phenomenal lady. Now she's taking a trip into the lives of women who are contributing to society, doing exceptional works. And this Sunday, season 5 will begin 4:30 p.m. on Joy Prime, actually. So here's the Fat Pal. All right, so
we'll see that later, but the show is on Joy Prime.
Exactly,
essentially celebrating women who have done very well in their various, careers or sectors. And I saw the, the promo of one of the shows, and indeed, you'd love the personalities that have been lined up for the show.
Usually we have a certain perception about women who are doing well. Sometimes we want to look at it from how well they've been able to establish themselves, but we don't really look at the story behind them. There are certain people who have not really been known out there, but in their own little corner, they are impacting on society, and sometimes we don't even put a spotlight on them. So this is more or less like, let's dig deeper and go into places where ordinarily you won't find, women getting the spotlight of what they're doing in society.
Especially for, careers that are male-dominated. If you find women in there who are doing exceptionally well, the stories are worth listening to.
Yeah.
And, they get to tell you the real detail of how they surmounted some of the challenges they faced just because they were women, first of all, and then the other things that had to come with it.
And for the fact that it's been running for 5 seasons, that's amazing. So they should just watch out. It's going to be exciting. She was on my show today, and we had a great time as well. Yeah, let's check it out.
Let's check it out,
The legal practice, it isn't about repeating and regurgitating what the law is and spilling it out to the client. You have to let the client understand things.
20 years in law.
Yes.
Don't you get tired?
Not tired. I can't even believe that it's been 20 years.
It's a new season and a new face with new, exciting, entertaining segments and activities that will keep you glued to the PL show. We bring you more women, changing the status quo. Women making giant strides in their communities and fields of endeavor and not just adding up to the story. Phenomenal ladies, are you ready? Let's get started. I am Emefa Apo, and this is the PL Show.
So it's a date on Sunday.
I'm getting my dancing shoe for tonight, Friday night. I love it.
Okay, thank you. Enjoy your weekend, KMJ. Thank you very much. And that's it for Showbiz. But if you're watching us on Joy Prime, that's it for the bulletin. Many thanks for joining us. The news continues on Joy News. We have Joy News editorial. Stay for that.
Hi, this is Lexus Bill, host of Drive Time on Joy 99.7 FM. Listen, you don't have to worry if you miss Drive Time or Personality Profile. It's going to be live on our podcast page. Just log on to www.myjoyonline.com/podcast. You can listen to Drive Time, Personality Profile, and any other of your favorite shows on Joy FM on that page. You don't have to miss a show at all. Joy 99.7 FM, radio for discerning listeners.
Today, I'm enraged, infuriated, incensed. Why? I've been pondering the attitude of some Ghanaians to what we collectively own. That is to say, public assets built or acquired with the taxpayers' money and how we use them. The first stanza of our national anthem reads, "God bless our homeland Ghana and make our nation great and strong." It admonishes us to be patriotic and nationalistic, meaning we must make a conscious effort to support the well-being of the country by positioning it to be great and strong. But is that what we are doing? So only last month, the airwaves were awash with reports that a 60-year-old man and his daughter had turned the sidewalk of the newly commissioned Pokwasi interchange into a chop bar. They were arrested after a video of them pounding fufu went viral. That's what you just saw. Then weeks later, we woke up to the news that crash barriers at the interchange had been removed. Make no mistake, these were not removed by site engineers. They were stolen. It is shocking how thieves could scheme and organize themselves so well to steal crash barriers that could save lives. The thieves wore clothes and reflectors that suggested that they were working on the roads and cunningly removed the crash barriers and made away with the loot.
We encountered some people, about 5 people with a truck, and they were working on it. We thought they were working on it. It was at dawn, around 5:30. But we realized that they have removed the thing from that end, where the last metallic pillar is, to the last end there, where they have, fixed the new ones.
Now, these crash barriers are valued at $3,500, approximately 21,000 cedis. Thankfully, they have been replaced now.
This, has alerted us to the operations of this syndicate who have done similar things on other roads. The Gifford Road, they have been to the, that is the N1 the N1 itself, which is part of the motorway from, Tema to Accra. So, once we say this, we want, to caution the public to be on the lookout.
This tells a lot about citizens in this country. Have we become this selfish, this callous, cold-hearted, and unfeeling? Renowned engineer and former head of VRA, Dr. Charles Reku-Broby, was not surprised that this happened. He recounted when he led the organization of the Ghana at 50 celebrations, many street lights were installed during that time and they were stolen. What saddens me is that many look on while irresponsible citizens pillage properties meant for all of us. For crying out loud, it is a public good. It is for the good of all of us. But a few selfish ones have taken it upon themselves to take what benefits us all for their sole benefit.
We are increasingly seeing a more selfish and individualistic society, and largely what I do is my business, and to that extent is no one else's business. And what somebody else does is his or her business, and to that extent is not my business.
We've been crying, fix the country. Indeed, this country needs fixing. Bad roads, schools, unemployment, what have you. But we must look within and fix bad attitudes. We need to get rid of this indiscipline syndrome. That is the only way we can develop as a nation. There are those who suggest that we should install cameras to help capture these vagabonds of society. In the absence of cameras that can record deviance, we as individuals should also do the policing role. We should confront people who are determined to bring us down, because we will all sink together if we look on. Our security agencies must know that the only reason acts like these persist is because people get away with their loot and escape punishment. We need the security agencies to be up and doing. We must publicize hotline numbers where citizens can always report incidents like these, and they should work. It should be a collective fight. The national anthem emboldens us to be patriotic and nationalistic. But we cannot be said to be patriotic and nationalistic when we engage in these selfish acts. We cannot be said to be patriotic and nationalistic when we turn a blind eye to the ills of society. We must speak up and hold each other to account. Simply put, our patriotism should be judged by our acts. God bless our homeland, Ghana, and make us great and strong.
Hello, I'm Dori Nando. You can catch up with all the fun on the Cosmopolitan Mix and on all our shows via podcast. Just go to My Joy Online podcast and search for your favorite show and relive those moments all over again. Only on Joy 99.7 FM, radio for discerning listeners.
Super Hits Radio, Joy 99.7.
Now, the Queen Mother of the Nkranza traditional area, Nana Yaa Duda Kane I, has placed a ban on persons who identify as gay and lesbians in the town. This after the youth of the town allegedly caught a suspected gay man in the act. The man was apprehended and rushed to the chief's palace, where the Queen Mother performed rituals to cleanse the land. Joy News has seen a video capturing the arrest of the man by angry youth. Bono East correspondent Nasa Bate reports.
Album say bow on the bad that the way I see in your feelings now when obey my so that we not until I don't know.
21-year-old Frank Nyaku narrates to me how he was nearly lured into having a same-sex affair with 27-year-old Iyao Berima.
Ono this I said that then at me at like me timba no oh no I put them out on the box I ben ehye eh me yam you no like also so me kote.
Frank says after several attempts by the culprits, he discussed this with his peers, and when invited by Iyao Berima, he told his friends who were initially in doubt to follow up and monitor what Berima intends to do.
Intino ka say o gay bi den na membra. Maybe say hoso no say dem ba me hu ado kro. Me ka che boys ni say we don say munjin dia me di kan ko be 15 minutes time no mumbla na mo mehwe de ekoso. Intino ko do dem we me ko no tempa no so me metrampa no so mizan say na say ma ba WhatsApp me ye recording bi kura ba ba me sanya ko nti o han ko ya line no o je phone no ka to call no me de phone ne do no so say da me wura me so me wura me say no so de me wura me ho an me say say da no ndi kan e wura no ho to no di kan wura no ho ne me so no say da me so me wura me top say me wura down ne ka me boxer say no ka say say da me wura boxer me boxer and me wura no nya to ba say to ko da mpa no say o me mbla. Moments
later, the victim's friends who were on standby knocked on the door in an attempt to enter. At this moment, Iyao Berima was seated on the bed, naked.
Ni eye gidigidi ya suwompi no suwompi na de nti aba o ma ti se nipa mienu eye we na nipa ba ko pe no ka se no ade we no atata me a chente ma yesesa ni amakura sei ekogu bolem se nyanti ompiem ra bonte no meka o ye ya o amba nto de akunya kura bo ade ba yo momaso.
He was then reported to the palace of the Queen Mother of the Nkranza Traditional Council, Nana Yaa Duda Kane I. Here, the culprit denied as well.
Na nsane ne anwumre
enyamarasem BBC okrom ha mabunu be se duonum ne akire anwumre no nsia ne fa be ball yewura kurowura amane se ebinum hye ba bi kokwa mu a omu di sa adwuma no emema mienu na chiame ma ono be ma no kwan so won kana sem wo kana sem Razak kana sem nyina wieye ma ne ba be si se
Spokesperson of the Queen Mother, Nana Balfour Sarkodie, says after he was given an option to swear with the gods of the land, the culprit, after a few minutes, confessed and admitted committing the act.
Nti achiame ma oba bigina obetimi asan ho wo se an yesu yo yenkoso ne wi a ne achiame be mo waye no waye sense na obedi asan ho a wadi asan ho eni be minute mi no no agina ho a wo se enokre na ye adwuma a omoye ogitum wi na achiame de amamle ni amane ma omoche ne dadua.
He was then fined and asked to offer a carton of schnapps and 24 sheep for some sacrificial acts.
We are more prepared. Chame, you run an anom, Boneka, a Gampo, Trebia, a Bunu 9, Schnapo, Adaka, Esiso, Noa, a Jemubako, my Ura, my Chami Jinaho, and the Yamamleni Amani Trebigun, and also need to do so.
For the traditional authorities, the act of LGBTQ+ has been banned from the land, and even when accepted by the country, the people of Nkranza will not be part of this particular practice.
Abususam any idea being in Nkranza memuda no ma ha ase ye no eno e kire bibia ma obi ahunu se se wuni a wo hye ma asem mo ye ma o se mema o o se achia me na no mo bia amfa na so toto from wo abehun se obi di sa adwuma bi no sa adwuma die ni bi e ma ne ma eda e mema ne mema so da sa gains and some no die e taboo e won Nkranza nkonya sa ase so ke chiwade ma won na man.
They appealed to the president to pass the anti-LGBTQ bill in order to save the next generation from being part of this group.
She saw Bani or Babeda. Said Bema and Bema Bedadie. Nanan Kransa my him man in that time could me say no dear. Ghana man pay in what dear. And Sadan say yem wadaru me brew. We are Yukuni, we are Kani, with your Srawada. So wait dear, wadaru me brew. And Mrawi, wadaruma. And Makwama Rashibium for no crampongentum. Na Baba Yem, and Kransa my dear, Moji to Mua. And Yadi Bayajuma or Hantina Bosom no Wahan.
The culprit from our sources at the Municipal Police Command is yet to be arrested. However, the police has promised to commence investigations into the matter. Reporting for Joy News, Anas Sabit, Nkranza.
Now, the Deputy General Secretary of the governing NPP, Nana Obribwine, is worried over the silence of the majority of NPP MPs over the bill criminalizing activities of homosexuals. The bill is in Parliament and being spearheaded by 6 members of Parliament, including only one NPP MP, John Intim-Fojo. Mr. Bwine, who described the practice of gayism and lesbianism as embarrassing and insulting, wants the majority of NPP MPs to make their voices heard on this issue. He also asked Akoto Ampaw and his group to abandon the idea of opposing anti-LGBTQ bill.
Churches. No person should even encourage that. We shouldn't encourage that. We should not be talking about that. We should stop it. We should stop that.
No, but your own very good friend, Akoto Ampaw, is leading the charge.
That doesn't mean that he's not my friend, but I'm saying that Akoto Ampaw, I disagree entirely with you. He's my friend, yes. Akoto, I disagree entirely. I will not support this argument. Gazipo, Madam, I admire you. Your writings, please, I will not support it. Drop it.
They should drop it?
They should drop it. Of course, they are entitled to their views. How? You are encouraging this. How do we even discuss this even in the public domain? Please, my good brothers and sisters, it has got nothing to do with religion. It has got nothing to do with politics. It has got something to do with due respect, with all humility. It has got something to do with common sense and respect for somebody's culture, some people's culture. The society knows.
I see, but what's the position of the MPP on this matter, sir?
I can't speak for the MPP and I don't speak for the MPP.
You're the Deputy General Secretary of the
Yes,
party.
this is not a matter for MPP. This is a matter for every Kenyan, every reasonable person, every questionable person. I don't speak. Why do you rope in the MPP? Why do you rope in the NDC?
Because it's become a partisan matter. It appears the NDC are leading the charge against the rights of LGBTs.
No.
And Akotompa is actually the president lawyer. People are associating him with the president.
It's not the NDC that is leading. I'm surprised that I don't see a good number of the MPP MPs champion this cause.
You are surprised?
I'm extremely worried.
Why are you worried?
Why should I be worried? Look, normally, these are the NDC MPs.
Right.
Sam George, this. Then they'll mention MPP, they mention the
Jordan Team for job.
Please, drop it.
But so are you disappointed that the NPP MPs...
It's not a question of MPP MP.
No, but you said you're surprised that...
And a missionary NGO, Advocates for Christ, has questioned the claim by the LGBTQI plus community that their sexual orientation is genetic. At a press conference in Accra, the group said homosexuality is a lifestyle choice that must be discouraged. My colleague Judith Architando was at the press conference and has come through with this report.
Advocates for Christ is the latest group to push for the passage of the Human Sexual and Ghanaian Family Values Bill. Already, the discussion about LGBTQ rights in Ghana has attracted the attention of international media. CNN's David Mackenzie spoke to a homosexual in Ghana who says he's been constantly harassed.
I was shaking when they took me to that room and then they set up their cameras and I was screaming, I was crying.
Is it true that you told him that you like him, they ask? Yes, he whispers.
Like, how can this happen to me? They beat me around 9 to 11. All those times, like, they were beating me. I wanted to kill myself. For me, when I saw this video, I was like, it would be better I kill myself because I have nowhere to go.
And your dad threw you out?
Yeah.
And what was that moment like?
I cried like never before.
Well, there's increasing support for the bill. Faith-based organizations in the country have declared an all-out war against groups and individuals opposing the bill. A missionary NGO, Advocates for Christ, briefed journalists on Friday on medical and scientific research which puts the spotlight on the impact of LGBTQ activities. Adam Senanu is president of the group.
Now, obstetricians or gynecologists and pediatricians are not allowed, when you are born, to write on your card that you are male or female in some countries. They say you must wait for that child to become of age to tell you that I'm male or I'm female. What kind of nonsense? And there's child sex abuse. The research also shows that most of them experience sex abuse. And that's what has made them who they are in childhood. And then they repeat same. You see, where the Genome Project said that 75% of what contributes to your sexual orientation is based on your environment and culture. So if in your environment you were sexually abused, your sexual orientation towards your children will emanate from what happened to you. Are you with me? So that's the logic in the science.
Aaron Ajete is a former homosexual and revealed how he almost married his gay partner after being gay for 20 years.
As our chairman said, there's no gay genes. Why? Because some people become gay through poverty. So poverty can't change my genes in my body. No one was born gay. It's just a feeling. If you call any gay person here, the person will go like, I feel this way. It's just a feeling. When you read Galatians chapter 5 verse 16, it said, the flesh and the spirit are contrary to each other. So he said we should walk in the spirit so I will not fulfill the lust of the flesh. So now it's just a flesh desire.
Having made a U-turn, he warns Ghana will be signing its death warrant if it legalizes LGBTQI activities.
And with the health issues, I mean, being in for 20 years, I can say 90% of gays now are HIV positive. I was even shocked to know that I was negative, because I know what I've been through. So 90% of them are positive. So when we allow this thing to go on, when we allow the right to legalize it, it's like a death sentence. It's just a feeling. Now we are telling people, I'm yet to meet someone who go like, oh, Earth is very hot and I want to turn Earth into Jupiter.
It's a nation caught up in a dilemma of majority values clashing with minority rights. Judith Awatritando, Joy News.
And President of the Catholic Bishops' Conference, Most Reverend Philip Name, has revealed that the church has set up medical units to help rehabilitate homosexuals. According to him, the church is concerned about the welfare of the people, hence the initiative to help homosexuals in society. Speaking in an interview with Raymond Aqua on Upfront Thursday, he said the church maintains that homosexuality is a medical condition, even though the WHO, as far back as the 1990s, removed it from the list of diseases.
We have a roadmap of continuously engaging and sensitizing our church members on it. We also have a roadmap of praying for that God's will also be done in this matter. So we've lined up a series of prayer in parishes, in dioceses. But beyond that, we also think that this is not just anti. We have put out there a holistic treatment for gay people who are already involved in gay. To treat them, because some of them are actually experiencing hormonal imbalances, and that is pushing them there. We have a number of specialist doctors who are giving up their services, and we don't want to call names, because there may be some who are willing to be treated of this issue of being gay or lesbian. It can be treated.
I see.
It is not just a way of life.
I see.
And we don't want to publish locations
of these hospitals and who is being treated.
Who is, because some may want to go there. And we want to respect the confidentiality of the gay members and lesbian members, so that anytime they decide, they should know that we are committed to treating them and making them normal human beings.
Away from the controversy on homosexuality, the surge in robbery cases in the country has been described as worrying. Some of the robbers insist the incident happened in broad daylight, and cash is what attracts a lot of people to commit such crimes. In Kumasi, some financial consumers say withdrawing cash from the bank or ATM has become a risky enterprise. Some of them spoke to Joy News.
I think the insecurity in this country, like, it's not allowing, I mean, we the bankers, like we that we save money in the bank, like, we're not comfortable nowadays, because like when you go to the bank, like, because of the cyber like insecurity, people will be following around, maybe tracing you with their mobile phones and any other like technology devices, you know. So nowadays, like, it's very, very insecure. When I walk to the bank like this, like, sometimes I even turn around, look back, because I'm afraid, you know.
Because of the situation that is happening at the bank, for me per se, I have a mobile banking system. So I don't usually go to the bank, but I can just stay in my comfort at my own room, just to take money from the mobile banking. Then from there I can go to the mobile money vendors. Then I can just withdraw the money from them.
We know the current state of the people we have in our country, the demographic we have in our country. A lot of them are not so educated for you to champion a lot of mobile banking, and then up to now we still have a lot of them even saving the microfinances and not actual banks. So to be fair to everybody, I think the government would rather have a lot of responsibility in ensuring that citizens are very safe. The banks as well can do something on their part, I think, to check cyber security.
Going to the ATM, when you are going to the ATM to withdraw a huge sums of money, at least you have to let someone to accompany you, a trusted person to accompany you to the ATM bank. Who knows, maybe there are some people tracking you. With the help of the one assisting you, you can get yourself out from the arms of the armed robbers.
Personally, I don't feel safe. And then I think the banks should do more to protect ourselves. Like they should install CCTV cameras, or they can also advise the government to use the digital system whereby we use like something like a mobile money to do our transaction. I think that one will be safe.
Ashanti Regional Coordinating Council has sworn into office 39 out of the 43 confirmed Metropolitan, Municipal and District Chief Executives. 2 of the 4 outstanding assemblies will need to be re-nominated due to failure to make 50% of the ballots cast. Nanaya Ojima has more in the following report.
Kumawu, Ahafo North, Akrofom and Jabin are 4 assemblies who failed to endorse the president's nominees. At Jabin and Akrofom districts, nominees Alex Safokantanka and Richard Osu managed 23 and 29% respectively. Their failure to secure 50% of votes means the president renominates them or others for another round of voting. Nominee for Kumawu, Samuel Ade Ajekum, missed the target by a vote in a second attempt. Chairman of Coalition of Failed MMDC Aspirants, Emmanuel Obrimpon Frimpong, says the group is making efforts to secure enough votes for the outstanding nominees.
What the coalition will do is to get in touch with the people, most especially the assemblymen who will be voting on them. We will do that. We will talk with them. We will talk with Nananom. We will talk with people who matters in those places to ensure that they too get the nod.
The 39 confirmed MMDCs were sworn in office by the Ashanti Region Minister, Simon Osei-Mensah.
And that I will uphold.
And that I will uphold.
Preserve.
Protect.
And defend the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana.
And defend the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana.
As by law established.
As by law established.
The minister advised them to work with technocrats in delivering their mandates.
The position of a chief executive requires that you be a team player and be tolerant to all views. Humility and respect for all is the watchword. Vigilance is primarily key to your work. You are expected to work closely with your coordinating directors and the technocrats within your administration. Cooperate with your honorable members of parliament, honorable presiding members, assembly members, heads of the centralized departments, and indeed, all the relevant stakeholders at the local level to engender the much-needed development in your areas of jurisdiction.
The MMDCs have pledged to do their part in driving development in their respective areas. Alexander Frimpong is Dean.
We make a solemn pledge of commitment that we will commit to serve our people diligently. We will not engage in any corruptible practices. Breaking the age in the Bayamre at the Amaya party.
For Joy News, Nanaya Ojima, Kumasi.
Now, in the past few months, many parts of the Volta Basin has been hit by heavy rains, causing floods which have displaced thousands of people and led to the loss of lives and livelihoods. Ghana, Benin, Burkina Faso and Cote d'Ivoire have all been impacted. In order to boost resilience to such extreme events, a number of organizations have come together to develop the flood and drought forecasting and early warning systems for the entire Volta Basin. Project manager Ramesh Tripathi says the project will bring together professionals working in different sectors to address the challenge.
So this project is basically funded by Adaptation Fund, and it's titled Integrating Flood and Drought Management and Early Warning for Climate Change Adaptation in the Volta Basin. The project is implemented by 3 partners. First, the implementation is done by World Meteorological Organization, and the executing partners also has World Meteorological Organization, Volta Basin Authority, and GWP West Africa. And this is a 4-year project, and we are completed 2 years of the project, and currently this activity is mainly on developing flood and drought risk map. This is one of the big outcome of the project, and this is mainly this activity was carried out in support of national technicians who are mainly been trained on how to develop layers for this risk map, mainly on exposures, on impacts, both floods and drought event. So the idea of having them involved in this activity is to ensure that after the project they have the knowledge and skills to update this risk map, because risk map is something which keeps changing in a span of 5 years, 10 years.
Hydrologist researcher at the CIMA Research Foundation, Anna Mapili, says the training will carry out research activities to develop advanced measures and modeling techniques, as well as data assimilation to forecast early flood occurrences.
As CIMA Research Foundation, we are providing technical support to the project on some different activities, especially this one about developing risk map for the Volta Basin for flood and droughts. So till now we have developed this training with local technicians from national agencies working on developing exposure and impact maps for scenario-based situations. So we were using an approach, a scenario-based approach, considering return period of the event. So some statistical analysis about the probability of occurrence of the event. We work with participants with several trainings about using cartography and local and national data if possible, and also regional data and global data when national data were not available. We worked till now on the exposure and impact aspect. The actual workshop, we finished the national workshop. We are going to work to harmonize all the results at the Volta Basin region and then provide a final meeting, virtual one, with all the countries, all the technicians to conclude the training and provide the final results.
Time now for some more business stories. Daryl Kwao is standing by with details after this break. Don't go away.
Hello, my name is Nathaniel Atto. You can catch up with all the fun and inspiration on the Joy Sports link here on Joy 99.7 FM, together with all other shows over and over again. It's very simple. All you need to do is go to myjoyonline.com/podcast and relive all of those fun moments over and over again. Joy 99.7 FM, your radio for discerning listeners.
Joy 99.7.
Again, welcome to business. My name is Daryl Kwao. Government has set up a committee to develop a roadmap towards revamping and expanding Ghana's timber industry. Under the auspices of the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources, the committee has been tasked to solicit ideas and make recommendations to revamp the sector. Chief Executive of the Forestry Commission, John Alute, says the committee is expected to submit its reports in the coming week for onward submission to the sector minister and cabinet. My colleague Ohemi Teria has more.
According to the International Tropical Timber Organization's Tropical Timber Market Report, Ghana's wood product exports declined from 397,000 in 2016 to 300,000 cubic meters between 2017 and 2019. The country earned only €150 million within the period, compared to €225 million in 2016. Perhaps informed by the current dip in timber trade figures, the government wants to revamp the industry, which has proven to be a reliable foreign exchange earner. According to Mr. Alute, the Lands and Natural Resource Ministry will collect inputs from stakeholders in the timber industry, especially timber contractors, to make a final decision.
The committee is made up of about 70% of private practitioners in the timber subsector. Just for them to sit down, sleep there, and think about measures that you think when the government put in place, it will improve or revamp the timber subsector. When the report is ready, we would expect, because most of you did not, you are not part of those associations, you will not be able to influence the report. Your voice will not be heard. So what we will do is that we will make the key items of the that committee available to you, so that if you have some comments to make or some contributions to make, we would take them on board.
He told a stakeholders meeting of the Forestry Commission and timber contractors in Sehuyoso this will inform the government on ways to revive the industry for increased youth employment.
The committee would submit the report to me, I'm sure maybe by next week. I'm supposed to look at it, send it to the minister, and then the minister would then, sift the information and be part of his presentation to cabinet to see how we are going to revamp this timber subsector. Because primarily, all the places that we have to deal with illegal mining, most of those places used to have sawmills. And it's the sawmills that were absorbing most of the teeming youth population. So if we are able to expand, if we are able to provide the necessary incentives that you need to open up your place and to employ more people, what it means is that we would be able to deal with this huge, backlog of unemployment that is almost everywhere in the country.
The Yoso meeting provided a platform for timber contractors to share their grievances with the CEO of the Forestry Commission and his team. Issues include what they described as undue delay and unnecessary harassment from the Forestry Commission task force. The contractors are promising their support to government to revive the timber industry.
When you fell the tree down, there's a TO that has to check them to ensure that the trees that you are harvesting is within the yield that has been allocated to you. Before he will issue a TIF, and then you take those logs to a checkpoint where the LMCC will be issued to you, what we call conveyance. Then you take the logs into your sawmill to be milled. When you are at the mill working, you see FSD with the military coming right down to the sawmill, saying that they want to check documents. Before you go through a lot of all these kind of issues. Then finally, when you've been able to mill, to be able to transport them, you have to get to the office of the TIDD for the certificate to be issued. And even there as well, there's a whole lot of checks and back and forth before finally the certificate will be issued to you. So many checkpoints on the road until you get to the entry of the market. Seeing the CEO coming down to this level, I think it's unique. And there is no better way to tackle a problem than to go where the problems are happening. And that is the first step that he has taken. So I think he means business.
It is we, the contractors, we inform the Forestry Commission that they should establish these 3 plateaus for us so that they will go for military men and then the forestry staff so that they will base there permanently for us. So that we, the contractors too, we support them with the fuel and others.
From Sehuyoso in the Western North region, Ohimintiria reporting.
Now, Ghana imports more than $400 million worth of rice annually to supplement local production. To reduce the importation of rice, the Soil Research Institute of the Council for Scientific and Industrial Research is educating farmers on a new technology to increase rice yields and cultivation in Ghana. Anita Sewa filed this report.
Rice consumption in Ghana has increased from 38 to 63 kilograms per person between 2008 and 2018. The current rice production meets less than 40% of consumption requirement in Ghana. The introduction of the SAWA technology by the CSIR-SRI will increase rice production at Esutifi South District in the Ahafo region. Dr. Ephraim Sechi-Anan is a research scientist at the Soil Research Institute.
We see that rice is the second most important crop in West Africa and also in Ghana. And we need to augment its production because the consumption of rice has risen from about 38 kilograms per person per year in 2008 to about 63 kilograms per person per year in 2018, and considering the trend, clearly in 2021 it will go higher. So it has doubled over the decade.
The adoption of the SAWA technology leads to the production of more paddy rice. The research scientist believes Ghana has the potential to become rice sufficient if the technology is used efficiently.
We have about 700,000 hectares of lowland in Ghana where we can produce rice. But then farmers adopt this rudimentary methods of poor land preparation. But now, through the Modernizing Agriculture in Ghana program, which is sponsored by the Canadian government, the government of Ghana has mandated the CSIR Soil Research Institute to roll out some of the technologies we have developed, which specifically for today's program is the SAWA technology.
The Modernizing Agriculture in Ghana MAG initiative is to improve food security and make the agriculture sector modern, equitable and sustainable. Regional Director of Agriculture Kensford Nyame promised to provide machinery to support farmers in the Ahafo region to increase rice yields.
We now have one AMSEC center, PDM, Agric Mechanization Center. Okay. We have one at PDM, and all the machines have been given to the district assembly for farmers to go and then hire for their farm operations.
Some farmers who benefited from the project lauded the institution for the technology.
After the verification demonstration on the SAWA technology was done on my farm, I noticed that it has increased my rice yields.
Anita Sewa Ajuga's report read to you.
Next, a tour around the world for some international business news. And remember, you can always get up to date on our website, myjoyonline.com/business. My name is Darryl Kwa. Thanks for watching. Enjoy your weekend. Sports is coming up next.
What's up, guys? My name is Sammy Forson, host of the Weekend City Show and Ignition right here on Joy 99.7 FM. Well, anytime you happen to be busy and you miss out on your favorite shows right here on Joy FM, here's what you can do. Log on to myjoyonline.com/podcast. Just go on there and you'll find all your shows on demand 24/7. There you can catch up. Remember, Joy FM remains your radio for discerning listeners.
Apologies for the glitch there. Let's get into sports now. The Ghana Football Association received support for grassroots football this week thanks to KGL Foundation, who have signed a $1 million partnership agreement with the Ghana Football Association. It's important for the funds to be utilized properly and also properly accounted for when the time is due. There is more in this Joy Sports editorial.
The foundations of success for every football nation is a sound grassroots or juvenile program. In more developed countries, this program is often spearheaded by football academies owned by professional and sometimes semi-professional clubs. The popular grassroots football model in Ghana is Coast Football. The model has produced the bulk of the country's best players, from Abedi Pele to Neodate Lamte, Stephen Appiah, and the Black Stars' highest scorer Asamoah Gyan. It is common knowledge that Coast Football has struggled over the years and has survived on the sacrifices of individuals with a passion to groom young players. That notwithstanding, it was heart-wrenching to learn that more than 50 juvenile football clubs in the Accra West District were made to share 1,000 Ghana cedis and 10 footballs for the whole season. While acknowledging the challenges with the funding and the efforts of the Ghana Football Association, it is undeniable that far more needs to be done. It is in the view of this that Joy Sports commends the KGL Foundation for the $1 million support for juvenile football. We also appeal to other institutions to emulate the example of the KGL Foundation and extend a hand of support not only to grassroots football, but to the grassroots program of other sporting disciplines to help develop the next generation of sportsmen and sportswomen. We would also want to urge the Ghana Football Association to ensure the judicious use of the money and fully account for its use when the time comes. The Ghana Football Association doesn't need a reminder of the fact that transparency will go a long way to attract other partners.
With France football having taken a coronavirus enforced break in 2020, anticipation is building ahead of the next awarding of the Golden Ball. I know Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo and Robert Lewandowski among the nominees on the 30-man 2021 Ballon d'Or long list to have been released by France football. Other superstar performers to get the nod include Erling Haaland, Kylian Mbappe, Karim Benzema and Romelu Lukaku. And you're seeing the full list on your screen there. Luis Suarez, Raheem Sterling, Mohamed Salah, Cristiano Ronaldo, Pedri, all of them in that list. There's also Mason Mount and Gerard Moreno. And that'll be all for sports. Many thanks for your time. In the meantime, you can read more at myjoyonline.com/sport. I am Hans Mensando. Many thanks for your time.
Many thanks for your company throughout this week. From me and the production team, enjoy your weekend. You'll find more stories when you log on to myjoyonline.com. I'm Ernest Meno. Up next is PM Express Personality Profile.
Join is Prime.